Welcome back to The Dish with Chad and Chris and Ben. I'm Chris, and this is Gwen.
Who the hell is Chad and Ben then? How are you going to introduce a podcast with 5 people and there's 2 people sitting right here?
It's a huge production. There's a lot of people behind the scenes.
Chad and Ben are standing in the back.
And Chance is over there even, too. Hey, Chance.
Chance.
How's your mom doing?
Fine.
That's how he sounds.
Do you think it worked? Do you think it...
Everyone thinks he's here. Today, we're discussing a classic.
Is it a classic?
Cult classic.
It came out the best year for movies.
1994 when Ben was born.
Amen. So this movie is 37, 38 years old?
She's going to be about a cool hour and 37 minutes.
What do you think the movie is called?
We're talking about none other than The Santa Claus.
Quick little...
With Tim the Tool Time Taylor Allen.
Taylor Allen. I think I've met a girl named Taylor Allen before.
Also
I had a really hard time typing the name of this movie out so many times because then I just started believing that Claus, like Santa Claus, like was spelled like a legal clause, and I was just having a hard time with it.
Yeah. Maybe don't overthink it so much.
I have to overthink
She's
it.
streaming on Disney Plus for anybody that's fortunate enough to have that app.
And
it's
that's it.
pretty subpar, but it's a good app to have.
It's great if you're into Star Wars.
It's Star Wars. Yeah. I first started watching this movie. I think the first time I ever saw this movie was at my dad's house.
Yeah.
And he's a big Tim Allen fan. I think Tim Allen even had like a house on his lake or something.
That would make sense.
There was something about my dad lives like way up north in like a cool ass area.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Not way up north, but like
He's like an hour.
It's up
like an
north
hour.
enough.
It's
Like
Davisburg.
he says, he's very famously quoted as saying, like, you know, you go up north, I go home. So it's like far enough away where it's like away from the hustle and bustle, but he still like works around here.
Right. It's a great movie. I feel like I've probably seen it every year ever since then.
I haven't seen it in a minute before we
holds up.
watched it this time.
It
It's
holds up.
really good.
It holds up, and there's like 3 of them, and then there's a show. I've never watched the show because I'm not like
Never watched the show.
I'm not interested in that, but the 3 are good.
I haven't seen the third one
It's
probably
good.
since the first time I saw it. The second one I really enjoy.
Is the second one with like the evil Santas, the toys? That
I
they make?
don't know.
I think
it
it
is.
is. Yeah, I
And
think it might
but
be.
the
Or
main
is it
thing
there?
is like he starts talking with his son's principal, and he gets with his son's principal,
Yeah, she's Mrs. Klaus.
Mrs. Klaus.
Yeah.
But we're focused on the first one.
So yeah. Anyways, that reminds me of spending time with my dad.
Heck yeah.
The rare occasions that I get to,
Yes.
and it was always a good time. Holidays are always fun for the
Super
most
sick.
part.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say that was definitely a staple movie in his household.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We watched it a lot when we were younger. We definitely had it on VHS. Which means I would not only watch it during Christmas, I'd watch it all the fucking time. Like, I used to watch movies like it was my job, dude.
sure.
I love movies. Always have, always will.
Yes.
Synopsis of the movie for people who haven't watched it. Basically, when a man inadvertently makes Santa fall off his roof on Christmas Eve, he finds himself magically recruited to take his place, which is kind of dark. Like, oh, you killed Santa, now you're Santa.
Santa died. He didn't kill Santa. He fell.
He caused him to fall off the roof.
I don't know. He
Court of
startled
law.
him.
Court of law. Yeah. Shouldn't have done that. You want to hit us with some fun facts?
Yeah, for sure. So in 1994, Tim Allen had the #1 movie at the box office, which is cool, and the #1 rated television show, which is Home Improvement, where he is Tim the Toolman Taylor, which is a great show with JTT, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
John Taylor Thomas.
Yeah, his little mushroom haircut.
Who didn't?
That
at
kid
that
was
time?
like, he was hot shit back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody liked him. He was like a heartthrob kid, JTT. And the #1 New York Times best-selling book, Don't Stand Too Close to a Naked Man. He has drug problems.
Words to live by.
So,
Yeah. That's wild, though.
but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, to have all those things at one time. Also in 1994, because there was like a lot of dope things that came out then. So if he had the #1 of all of those things at one time, that's pretty
That's
crazy.
wild. Yeah, a week in November.
Yeah.
Which, like, I'm assuming a lot of Christmas stuff came out then, but that is wild. Like, he was, like, on top of the world at
Yeah,
that
dude.
time. That's crazy. I get it, though. It's fucking Tim Allen.
I
totally
agree.
get it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Another fun fact about this movie, there are several portraits of presumably past Santas on the wall of Santa's bedroom, a la Hogwarts, like Dumbledore's office. There's all the portraits of the old headmasters.
Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah. Well, it's mainly in the book. I don't think they actually talk about it in the movies. This shows that this is not the first time that the reins have been that the reins have changed hands, confirming the film's main plot point, where if you kill Santa, you're now Santa. I honestly didn't notice that while we were watching the movie, and that's wild that they just have all of those portraits. That's crazy.
That
Like
is
all
pretty
of like
cool.
the past
Yeah.
Santas. I think it's interesting, and that just kind of shows like, you know, it's a way of like kind of showing, oh yeah, Santa's like a bunch of different people. It's the mantle of Santa Claus. It's not just one person. It's like James Bond.
It's an institution.
Yeah,
You know, it's
Very
like a
much so.
whole, yeah, it's a whole thing.
I like that a lot.
It is cool. Another little fun ficto is that Tim Allen did a dance during the montage of the second Christmas Eve that he is a part of, because he's more like, he's got his feet wet now.
It's when they're
You know what I'm
walking
saying?
down that hallway
he's
with
just
him and all the
"Bah,
elves."
bah,
Yeah.
bah, bah." And that's all improvised. And it was done in one take, and they kept it in because he did such a good job.
Crazy.
He's probably
dude.
had a lot of drugs,
Ouch.
a lot of
Ouch.
alcohol, a lot of poison, a lot of
Hey.
snake oil. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying? Hair of the dog, if you will.
Let's be nice to him.
I'm nice to him.
Posthumously. Is he
I
still with
admire
us?
him. Yeah, I don't know how old he is, but I would be curious. How old do you think he is?
As hell. I don't know, in his 60s, maybe more.
How
than
old
that.
do you think he would be in that movie?
No, he has to be older than that. I think in that movie he was in his 30s, which means
You think he was like late 30s?
I think he was mid to late 30s, mid 30s. Let's say 35, just to kind
He
of
was
round it
probably
out.
35. That's probably fair, honestly.
I need to stop biting on my microphone thing.
Why do you do that? Huh?
I don't know. It's just fun to do.
He's 70 years old.
Yeah.
Aw.
Which means in this movie he was Jesus Christ. 40.
He was 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
39, 40. That's wild. Because like I was thinking about it, I was like, my dad was young when he had me. Younger.
How old is he?
He's turning 60 next year.
Yeah.
What year was Tim Allen born?
53.
My dad was born in 66. That's crazy.
Oh. That's cool. 66 is a good year.
Wait a second. He was born in 64. My mom was born in 66. I was like, that math ain't mathin' right now.
My mom was born in 1983.
That is a lie. She did not have you when she was 7 years old. There's some issues with that.
Oh, God. She's a beautiful woman. All right, so,
Oh my gosh.
anyways.
One of the children in Charlie's class during Parents' Day is an elf with pointed ears, which can be clearly seen when Charlie pulls the snow globe out of his backpack. When Charlie tells the class that his dad is Santa Claus, the elf boy is the only one who doesn't laugh. Throughout the movie, a lot of times when there's children involved, a majority of them are elves. And I've noticed that watching the movie a couple times, it'll just be like little kids with pointed ears.
Oh, okay.
Like at the end when you see like Santa flying away off the top of Charlie's house.
Yeah.
There's a
House.
bunch. Stop it. There's a bunch of elves in the crowd. I say crowd the same way I say house. Yeah, she's giving off some weird energy.
Okay. Hi, Nana. I thought
think
you
she
were going
was
to puke for a
stretching.
second.
I think she was stretching.
we both are like, look at her. She's like, I want to play.
Yeah, she's no,
Big
please
Bear.
not right now.
Not right now, baby.
Oh Christ!
Not right now. Not right now, baby.
Lay back down.
I got a
weirdo.
parent niece that's in play mode. Look at her. She's picking out a toy in the bench. She was going to pick out a toy.
She's out.
She's so sweet. I love her.
She's wild.
Parent niece, parent niece, parent niece. All right. So, anyways, okay. So we'll start this bad boy out.
Let's
You
do
ready
it.
for this? Are you
Where
ready
does
for me
it
to
start?
hit you hard? Scott Calvin, which is funny because his name is Scott Calvin in the movie,
Scott
and it's
Calvin.
CSC, which is Santa Claus.
Sinterklaas.
Center blocks. Anyways, he's attending a toy company office party and he wins an award because he's like I don't know if he's a salesman. I feel like he's like
I think he's part of research and development.
sure, you like that word, don't you?
R&D.
And
What word?
resesh and development. You
That's
said that about
3 words.
you said that about Clark Griswold too.
Well, yeah. Wow. Way
Is
to
that
rip
the
off
only other
Clark
job like that they do? And like
I
they own
guess.
you're either a salesman or you're in research and
R&D.
development. D&D. So yeah, anyways, he's at a party. He is, and that's another thing that I think is kind of funny, that he also already works for a toy company.
That's
pretty
funny.
cool. Yeah, that's
It
a
comes
cool
up later in the
tidbit.
film too. Yeah.
Yeah, he apologized to his ex-wife, because he's always late. He's not a good dad. I mean, realistically,
It's
like
tough.
he's like,
he loves his son, but he's also very kind of like self-centered a little bit.
yeah, and his son's mom, she's like either married or dating this dude that is also in Beverly Hills Cop as Billy.
Judge Reinhold.
There you go, Judge Reinhold, and he's a psychiatrist in the movie, and he like tells Tim Allen's son that there isn't a Santa, basically.
Charlie.
Charlie. We talked about this. I
You
feel
were
like he was
furious.
Yeah, that you're overstepping
When that
I'm
came
sorry.
out, yeah.
He is not your son.
Yeah.
Like that is like cruel and
That's
unusual.
wild.
Also, too, like Charlie is like 8 years old. Like that
I
is
feel
not
almost
like,
younger. Like
that's-
he's
yeah,
like a little kid.
That's like I couldn't just sit down with a kid and be like, that like you're dumb and he's not real, right? Like that's not real. Like that just seems so weird to me that like you would do that to a child, especially if it wasn't your child.
exactly.
It just seems weird to me. But anyways, so he asks his dad Tim Allen about it. He's like, "Of course I believe in Santa." I'm like, that's like
He's being
he's
a
like,
good,
"You're crazy."
He's being a good dad.
He's being a good dad. Yeah, like he's totally.
He
good.
wants to be a good dad. It's just sometimes he is like he's just kind of caught up with his own shit.
And his job is like, it's like that classic, like his job is a first priority.
V.
For sure. Of
V.
course. Dads. He has a son, because they're divorced, right? So he has a son for Christmas, which I'm pretty familiar with that. You flip-flop that every
sure.
year, which is a nightmare. But anyways, he attempts to cook dinner, but he's like a dad. And he sucks at everything except doing it.
Very dad-like.
literally.
Jeez, Chase.
And he just like totally biffs the Christmas dinner, and they end up going to like Denny's, like a diner-esque place.
Yeah.
And it's like sad. It's sad in there. Like it's not like it's,
Well, you see all the other single dads with their kids, and like he ends up talking to one where he's like, "Oh, did you burn the turkey?" And the guy like waves his hand. It's all bandaged
It's
up,
all-
and it's like,
yeah.
jeez,
it's disgusting.
that's
Yeah.
what's done.
And it's kind of funny there. And then he's like, we'll have some eggnog. She's like, we're out. And he's like, well, I'll have chocolate milk. And she's like,
We're
"We're
out."
that too. He's like, regular milk is fine. You remember how he does
Does
that?
he say regular milk or plain milk?
I don't know. Something like that. He's being a little brat.
Well, Judy kept giving them like bad news, bears.
Junti.
I hate when I do that.
Woman's name.
You ever have a client at work where they're like, "I want this jewelry." I'm like, "Okay, cool, let me go grab it." And it's out, and I was like, "I'm really sorry, I don't have that size." I'm like, "Okay, I'll take this one instead." I'm like, "I'm
You're like, there's
so
been a
sorry.
development in the day.
We're also out of this one." I've done that before, and I'm like, give me a couple options.
I feel like I work at McDonald's. Sorry, the shake machine's broken.
Yeah, and I'm also gonna give this to you for free. I am so sorry.
right.
Goodbye.
For free. But they return home. They kind of like, he kind of cuts his dad some slack, it seems like.
It's nice.
Yeah.
He's just there
And
for his dad. Yeah.
And his dad does treat him the night before Christmas before bed, which is like classic, and like that is nice. Like
I
I don't.
kinda
I
wanna
feel like
do that
people
with my
don't.
family this
people
year.
don't do that a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know who wrote that book. Is it Emily Dickinson or
Who
Charles
wrote
Dickens?
The Night Before Christmas.
Charles Dickens. Charles.
That's not right.
Yeah.
Shut up, Siri.
Regardless,
I'm gonna Google it. Keep
he's
talking.
he's doing that until his son goes to sleepy. You know what I'm saying? His son's like, man, goes to sleep, and it's interesting because like in the night before Christmas, there's like like their pitter patter, rose such a clatter, blah 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 blah, and the kid's like, what does that mean? And he's like, a clatter. It's like a noise. It's like a loud noise. And what does a rose mean? And he's like, it came. It like was
Yeah.
there, and then that's that. That's the first half or the first third of the movie. Basically,
Kind of like sets it up. It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Shit's popping off.
His son is kind of annoying, a little bit annoying.
I mean, he's a kid.
Yeah, he's annoying, and that's that. Anyways,
That's funny to me.
I think that I'm gonna flip flop this.
Go ahead.
I think that, like I was saying earlier, I don't think that it was his stepdad's place to tell him that there isn't a Santa.
Absolutely not.
It would be weird too, like the way that I'm thinking about this as like a divorced dad if I was one.
Yeah.
And like imagine like finding out that way. Like,
Oh,
so
I'd
your
be
kid is
shitty.
like, hey, like, is there a Santa? Because, like, this dude told me that there wasn't. And I also spend time with him. So, like, I don't know.
Because you can't like attack him.
Right.
You
Well, I
have
mean,
to
you
try-
could, but you shouldn't,
Yeah,
probably.
you can't like turn your kid against his stepdad.
Sure, yeah.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, I
turn
agree.
your kid against his stepdad.
I agree. But it just also would be kind of infuriating, right? Because you'd be like, if anyone is going to talk to him about this, it would be me. You know what I'm saying? Of
Yeah.
course.
Well, he even says that in the movie. He's like, next time we want to like destroy a part of our child's childhood, I'd like to be a part of it, or like something. Like he says something
sassy
like
and
that.
shitty, yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was interesting. And I specifically, we were just talking about this today. When I was a little kid, my Uncle Bob, my late Uncle Bob, he's a nice person. He looks exactly like Santa. He's a big guy. He's got a button nose. He's got like the rosy cheeks. He's got the big glasses. He's got a big beard. He's bald, but he like, wore the thing. And he would be Santa every year for
Yeah,
kids.
that's really cool.
And I thought he was Santa.
Yeah.
I was pretty convinced that he was Santa Claus. And he
Understandable.
totally wrote it out with me. You know what I'm saying?
He's
Like,
like,
he was,
"Yeah, I am, dude.
of course I am. Obviously,
Duh.
you idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he was
Keep acting this way, you're going to be on the naughty list.
right,
idiot.
And I feel like I don't remember specifically like the moment where I was like, oh, there's not like a Santa or anything like that. But I do remember thinking he was Santa for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I don't think my parents definitely did not tell me that there was no Santa.
I don't think there
I
was
think
ever
they
that
just
kind
kinda
of
let me,
conversation.
like,
yeah.
Get there. on
Which
my
I
own.
think is good. It's
I agree.
harmless to believe that there's a Santa.
I agree. That's another thing that I think is weird, like, because he believes in it for so long. They, like, act like he's, like, totally delusional for, like, not believing in it. And it's like, he's, like, an 8-year-old kid. Like, or 6 or whatever
I think
he
they
is.
kind of freak out about it because, like, later in the movie, it's, like, after Christmas. It's, like, the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
And he's, like pretending to be on Santa's sleigh. And
Sure.
he's, like, taking
Yeah,
it
yeah.
outside of Christmas, which can be concerning.
I agree.
Because to the parents, he's a made-up, like, fictional
Sure,
character.
of course,
That's
yeah.
like me, like, saying I want the Easter Bunny to come to my birthday party.
Right.
And, like, being super sad if he doesn't. Like,
Sure, I
it's
get
just
that.
like,
It
wait a
is kind of
second. This isn't the
concerning, I
time
guess.
for this.
Yeah. When did someone tell you that there was no Christmas or Santa Claus?
Probably, but I actually know when I stopped believing in Santa.
God.
I don't know like the time it happened. I think we talked about this on the Toys podcast. But when I was younger, my parents, it's Nana's Borfin. My parents would be pretty open and honest and be like, all of these presents are from us. Like
Right,
we bought
yeah.
you all these presents. And we'd have them under the Christmas tree like a couple days before Christmas.
Yeah.
But then Christmas Eve, we'd go to bed, and then we'd wake up Christmas morning, and there would be this new little pile of unwrapped gifts. And they would have this red bow around them. That was
Okay.
like, these are the Santa gifts. Like, Santa dropped these off.
Oh,
Mom
okay.
and Dad got all these, but Santa dropped
So they
these off.
rationalized it a little bit.
Yeah,
for you.
which
They're
was
like,
great. And
yeah.
like they could still like have surprises, but then there was that last little one. So we would always get those Santa presents.
Yeah.
And then one year I was being a piece of rat shit and I was trying to find all the Christmas presents like I
you were
always
so
do.
annoying.
Big
God,
surprise.
Yeah.
You know how much like okay, for everyone who can't really see, literally right here is every single Christmas present that Chase bought me. And I always
tree.
like to do the thing where I would like rip a little bit in the corner so I could see what's inside of it.
Oh my God! If I was your parent, I'd slap you.
I want
like
to do
a
it to
stepchild.
that one. I want to do it to that one, and I want to do it to. I know what that one is.
The pink one. Yeah, the pink
Bitch, there's 4 pink ones.
one. The big one.
I really
with the
like that
rainbow.
wrapping paper.
Thank you, Target.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Dude, I love all the bags. Back to what we're talking about though.
Be sure.
I was looking for the presents, and I found the bows, the ribbons that my parents would
Yes.
wrap the Santa Claus
Oh,
presents
that's
in.
cool. Yeah.
Oh God, I'm choking. Jesus is like, you shouldn't have done that. So then I was like, wait a second, that's not Santa's. That's my parents. Okay, I guess Santa isn't real.
Liars.
And that's
These
literally
liars.
when I thought it was. And I was like, okay, well that's fine. It wasn't like disastrous. Like I wasn't like super bummed. Because like my parents are very upfront. We were like, we buy you all these other presents always. So
Right,
I
of
was like,
course.
that's fine. I get it.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
My parents always gave us great presents. I've said it before and I'll say it again. My parents are always so like self-conscious about like how they did as parents, and they did wonderfully. My parents would always do like group gifts. Like one year we all got iPods and it was incredible.
Enclave.
We all got the iPod Nano. I got a black one, Jane got a pink one, and Megan got a gold one. It was so cool.
That is
I still
nice.
have that iPod to this day.
I don't remember the first time I got an Apple product, to be honest. I was probably an adult.
My first Apple product was my lime green iPod Shuffle when I turned 13. It was my 13th birthday present.
That's legit.
My parents like put a bunch of like books and weights and stuff in this giant bag, and then it was my tiny iPod sitting on top.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like the only present I got from my family, and I was like pumped because I was like, oh, I got this big old bag. I was like, an iPod, and then I kept looking in the bag, and they're like, no, there's nothing else
You're
in
like,
there. And I
"God."
was like, what the hell?
You're like,
But
36.
then I was like, but last year, 37. And then they buy him 2 more.
I know,
Rats.
he's a punk bitch.
I ain't no punk bitch. Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, I found out there wasn't a Santa. It really didn't affect my day to day.
Yeah.
Not to be rude.
What do you think
but-
the benefit and issue, though, would be to letting you believe in Santa? Like, what do you think the harm would be, I guess? Is like
Kind of like what I just said. I don't think there's really a harm unless like you're a shitty kid and you're like, Santa better bring me this shit. Like from Friday After Next, when that little kid sits on Willie's lap and he's
Yeah.
like, I know it's you, Mr. Johnson, whatever his name is. Like, I want an Xbox with all the games. I want this bike. I want this car. And you better have it to me by tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
that's shitty. Like,
Yeah.
you're just a bad kid. It's not related to Santa. I don't see anything wrong with a child believing in Santa.
Do you think that there's an age where like it would be like you can't anymore?
No, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like you're
Sure.
at a certain age, you're going to have the logical reasoning to be like, yeah, this probably isn't a thing.
Sure.
And
of
that's
course.
fine.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's like I don't know. It's just silly.
I think you want them to have hope too.
I want kids to be
You know what I mean?
kids.
Like, yeah, you
like
want
as
them to
much as
have
I
that.
don't like kids, like they're still kids. Like they're still gonna have like they're still gonna enjoy those like silly things. And I want them to. They're children.
Yeah.
They should be enjoying that. Like, I don't care.
He's like the personification of Christmas.
Absolutely.
It's like, yeah, it gets them in the spirit.
Absolutely.
Spirit, if you will.
Spirit.
Spirit.
So moving right along in this movie here, basically they kind of go to bed Christmas Eve. They're like, sad, but it's okay.
Sure.
They go to bed Christmas Eve, and then they start hearing a noise on the roof, and they're like, oh shit, what's going on? Like,
a
Tim
clatter.
Allen is like, okay, there's somebody trying to rob us. And Charlie's like, it's Santa Claus! And he's like really excited, and he's like, can you just like chill
he's
out
like,
for a
stay by
second?
the phone and call the cops if this guy kills me. and takes me out. Yeah.
Literally. So he runs outside and he sees a dude on his roof. And he's like, hey, you. And then homeboy falls off the roof and dies.
He dies. He breaks his
He
back
dies.
in
Breaks
5
his
places,
back.
and he dies.
You see bones protruding. No, it's not that wild.
What is that? Is that soda pop?
This is Diet Pepsi.
Is it actually Diet Pepsi?
Yeah. SodaStream has a deal
Oh,
with Pepsi.
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was a weak moment at the store today. I shouldn't have bought it, but here we are. You know, I didn't buy like the 3 tubs of ice cream I wanted to buy, so that's good. That's a win. I got a diet soda. But yeah, so basically homeboy falls off, and then they like start kind of realizing like, oh, that was like the real Santa. They're trying to figure it out. Tim Allen ends up turning around and like bonking his head on the Rose Suchuk ladder company. So
Yes.
it's Rose Suchuk ladder company. So they go up on the roof, they see like it's the sleigh, all the reindeer up there. He ends up like putting the suit on, and then he gets in the sleigh, and the sleigh starts moving on its own. Like the reindeer kind of bring him to the next house, and he just starts basically like delivering toys.
His son like makes him do it.
His son's like, come on, Dad, it's Christmas. You got to do this for me, or else you're the worst.
You're the
I don't
worst
know.
person in the world.
So like he's like kind of getting egged on by his son, so he starts doing it, and it's like you just kind of grab the bag, and then it kind of takes you over to the chimney. You sneak down it. The only toys in the bag are the toys for that family, and you dump them out, and you're good to go, and you're back in. So it is pretty efficient. I like how they do that.
I agree.
It like looks good. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. How would you have like this giant fucking sack full of all these toys? It's only the toy for that house. Like it does it all. It's basically automated at that point.
Right.
So it's just really cool. They end up basically just kind of like, he's like, well, the easiest way for me to get home is just to do all these presents, and then I can go home.
Sure.
But after they're done delivering all the presents, they end up actually going back to the North Pole and like he basically realizes like, okay, like this is real. Like
Yeah.
he meets the head elf,
Bernard.
who is a really funny character
Yeah.
because like all of the elves are children. And then there's just this like mid-20s like grumpy dude
Yeah.
playing an elf, and he's like, "You're Santa.
He's
this is how
not
it
tall.
works."
He's not short. He's like
No,
tall.
he's like a good
He's
foot taller
normal.
than all the other
Yeah.
children, and he's just like, "You're Santa. This is how it works." And it's really cool because Tim Allen gets this business card, and it's like Santa Claus, like put the outfit on, the reindeer know what to do, and it like kind of explains what he needs to do. But then they zoom in. And like you think it's just like a little border around the card, but it's like written out the Santa Claus. Like if something happens to the Santa and you put on the suit and deliver the presents, that makes you Santa.
You assume the responsibility.
Yeah, you have a year.
Yeah.
Basically, you do that Christmas. You have a year to go home and settle your affairs, and then you're back and you are Santa from then on out, which
Right.
is like kind of funny and cool. And
Yeah.
I like it, but it's also a little like unsuspecting and like not the best.
Like trap your ass.
It should be somebody who like wants to do it, but that's
It would be
fine.
hard because, like, if he just died though, like on your lawn, what if you just didn't want to, and then there's no Santa? So
True.
you'd have to. You're just like, this is just a burden that you have been. It's like a doctor
Gifted.
placed with a penitent. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like
my
you
gosh.
need that, and that's just how it is.
Well, so here's a question for you then. Would you like if Santa died on your roof, would you kind of like accept it and be like, all right, this is what I need to do? Or would you like try to fight it? Would you try to back out? What would you do?
It would be hard for me at first because I wouldn't assume that man was Santa. I would definitely assume he was a crazed lunatic on my roof dressed as Santa trying to break into my house. That's the most plausible explanation.
like
of
as an
what's going
adult,
on.
yeah,
in
this
the
is
real
what's
world.
going on.
But that being said, when I saw the reindeer, that would be like a different
I'd be like,
thing.
oh,
yeah.
goodness.
I would be like, okay. And then if I actually did what he did, where I got in the sleigh and like it hovered and like took off, I'd be all about it.
Be like, all right, this is it. We're doing this. He's just standing right here.
I would be honestly pretty stoked about that because like
That would be really cool.
it
for
would be
you.
legit. Yeah, like so I think I would fight it at first because I feel like I would be fighting with my own brain like is this actually like this isn't real, right? Like that would be like ridiculous. But then it's like if you saw, touched and heard the reindeer, I would be like,
Literally.
okay, like this is just how it is, I guess. Like
This is it. We're doing
there's
it.
definitely things that I don't know everything about and like maybe this is just one of those things that like I was wrong
we
about
are.
and like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But it would be hard for me, I think, at first to truly understand the gravity of like, because that's another thing is like Bernard literally says to him, like when he's in the North Pole, you have 11 months to get your affairs in order, and then you're here,
And then
now.
you're here. You are
that
Santa
is not
Claus.
that is like a very tough pill to swallow.
To kind of wrap
like-
up your entire life in 11
Yeah.
months, that's wild.
You're going away. It's like you're dying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get your affairs together and, like, you're gone now. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. You can't really tell people you're Santa either. So, like, you just disappear, basically. Like, you're just
Exactly.
gone now. And, like, honestly, like, there's no better alternative. I mean, in that situation, I mean, because his job sucks and, like, his life is
Yeah.
not sweet. He lives alone. He's single. Like, what is better that's going to happen to you? In this situation, like
Honestly.
really, like you're literally becoming a saint. So like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, you are leveling up. Like,
I'd say
you know what I'm
so.
saying? So to me, it's like, it would be really hard for me to accept it. I wouldn't fight it, but it would be very hard to accept it as a reality.
Yeah.
But if it was, yeah, dude.
I'd be like, I'm there
Yeah,
for
I would
it.
do it.
That's funny.
What about you?
Honestly, pretty much the same thing. Like, I would be like, this can't be real. This can't be real. And then it starts like, oh, wait, this is like totally real.
Yeah.
And like you kind of said, like, it's kind of a great deal.
It's a good gig.
It's
Yeah.
like, this is all I have to do. This is incredible.
And it's like the gravity, like, because Bernard does this to him too. It's like the idea that like there's so many children that count on you.
Exactly.
How could I say no to that? Like that would be like, you know what I'm saying? Like that would be like you would be the most awful person. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna do that. Like that would be the worst thing. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like I can't let these kids down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I have to do this. Like,
Honestly,
you know,
it's kind of the best situation though, because like I get to help all these kids and have a blast with these children, but then I don't actually have to interact with any of them. I just like make their year and then I'm out.
yeah,
Fuck yeah, let's
it's
go.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I'm
it's a
totally
cool.
down.
It's a cool thing, and I think that like it would also, I think over time, it would make you a better person.
For sure.
Like you're serving, so like you're
Yeah.
like helping people.
great.
And like you're helping children. Like it's really nice.
I
You
think
know?
that'd be really cool.
So I think that's what I would say.
I love that.
And it's kind of funny because like then it's like, you know, you get your affairs or whatever, and then like he wakes up, and I remember him like thinking like that was a really weird dream. Like that's
He was like,
crazy.
"Yeah, I'm totally
He
fine."
still like cannot accept this, which honestly I would also probably be there because I have some really weird dreams.
He's like in Santa's bedroom and he's like, yeah, this isn't real. Like there's a polar bear down there directing traffic. Like that's one of the jokes.
yeah,
Like,
it's like this is obviously ridiculous,
Yeah.
right? Like this is fabricated. Like this isn't real.
it's fabricated. It's not real.
We made it up. False. You know, but he wakes up. Anyways, so he wakes up though, and like he's doing his thing, and then he goes to the mirror to get ready for work, and he has like this giant ass beard, and he gained like a considerable amount of weight.
I think they said like he gained like what? It was like 40 pounds in like a week.
It was
or 2 weeks.
I think it's like 45 pounds. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it's like something was wrong.
like that.
Something's
yeah.
wrong. You know what I mean? Like
you should stop eating thyroids, dude.
yeah.
At that point.
Stop eating thyroids.
My God.
And it just kind of show like because you don't really expect like I remember when I first watched it, it's like you don't expect him to like physically turn into the stereotypical Santa. He just is Santa now.
Yeah.
He's Scott Kelvin, and he has the job of Santa Claus,
Yeah.
right? Like so, like I think
that comes with the job though.
it's apparently
Yeah.
but like I guess what I would have think is like he would have to do that job indefinitely, so like over time, because he would like eat milk and cookies and like whatever, he would get that way. You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't get there at first.
Yeah.
He would like serve, and then over the course of his like years of
Serve.
service, you know, he would end up being that way. You know what I'm saying?
fat jolly man.
But that's not how it went. That's
Yeah.
not part of the clause. The clause is that like he's turning into Santa Claus
Exactly.
now. So he's like continuously gaining weight, and like he like ends up like just getting to the point where like he really looks like Santa, and he starts like really concerning Charlie's mom and his stepdad.
Yeah.
Because like now they're like, oh my God, like you're like this committed to trying to make him believe in Santa. Like,
Yeah.
what is your problem?
They
You know what I'm
think
saying?
they
Like,
think he's doing this on purpose to like try to keep Charlie in belief, and it's like, one, you really think he's being that manipulative, and two, if he was being that manipulative, yeah, this is unsafe.
right.
This
But-
is like mentally
And
straining.
it's hard too because like there are so many situations where like you kind of are just like, yeah, he's Santa, because like they're like walking in the park, him and Charlie, and like all these deer are following him behind
the
him.
deer are following him.
you know,
and this little kid comes up and starts asking for what
sits
she
on
wants
his
for
lap
Christmas. Yeah.
in a park, and like then there's like a line of kids that are sitting there like, and he's just slowly becoming this person, like
Literally.
whether he likes it or not. He ends up seeing the doctor and like being like, what is going on? Like he really doesn't want to accept this.
Yeah.
Like because I mean in real life that would be really scary.
It would be
That'd be
tough.
super scary.
Yeah.
Like that's happening to you, and it's like, what is this? Like, what
Yeah.
is really happening here? Even if this is real, like, why is this happening to my body? You know what I mean? Like,
That
that's a
would be the
different
hardest,
thing,
yeah.
you know? Yeah. So, like, basically, like, it puts such a strain on things that, like, his mom basically takes him to court and just gets his, like, custody, like, can't, like
Yeah,
revoked.
He
like,
doesn't have visitation rights anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So he just can't see his kid because they think he's kind of a loony.
He's losing his mind, and they're like, "We got to keep him safe."
Exactly. You know, are the elves in here with us now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing. But, you know, this is now it's like one of those situations where, like, Christmas is approaching again.
Yep.
You know? So, like, basically what ends up happening is he's like, fuck this, I'm visiting my son. He's like, hey, like, I am Santa, and this is the thing, and I got to do my job, you know, and
I gotta
like,
go
so
do
days.
my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and his son's like, I got to come with you, and he's like, I don't know, like you got to stay with your mom, blah blah blah.
Unfortunately, you can't,
Yeah. Well, then like he ends up like the mom sees him and is like, okay,
Like,
All right.
this is actually kind of real.
you can do this. Yeah,
Yeah.
like which is like I think again another hard pill for them to swallow too, because that's like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, And he's like, no, we're going. So he goes. But this is like still in a weird spot where like they're like unsure.
Yeah.
So like he takes his son, and the mom kind of freaks out because he technically did kidnap his son.
Yeah.
They'd be like
speaking.
that on your cell phone. They'd be like,
Yeah.
black SUV, plates are 6529 penis. You know, and then it would
Penis?
be like that. Vanity plates,
Yeah, no,
man, they're
I'm
getting
gonna-
out of hand.
Oh my gosh. It's a couple
You know.
too many characters there, but okay.
Hey, not in Mississippi. All right, now. But they call the cops on his ass. You know, and the cops are like doing a manhunt. They're searching for him. But
They just start arresting all Santas.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
They are. They're just tackling Santas left and right, throwing them in the back of cop cars. Just how it is.
Very true.
And the thing that's interesting is like, so he's going from house to house with his son in his like new and improved sleigh
Yeah.
with the hydrogen engine in it, the crazy engine that kid makes, that German kid that makes his engine for him, of course.
Gosh.
And eventually he gets nabbed, dude. He gets it.
He got
gets
got.
clipped. Everybody gets clipped at some point. You know what I'm saying? Everyone can get got. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So he gets got. He gets taken into custody for the police, and the police are interviewing him and trying to be like, you know, where's your son? Like, what's going on here? And like, who are you? Are you really like? Come on, you're not Santa. And he says, I'm Popo Gijo.
Which is funny because it's not Popo Gijo, which it sounds like Popo Gijo. Also, that character that he's quoting is not Santa Claus. It's like a little like elf.
Yeah, well, he's just having fun with them.
Stupid
At that
ass
point.
movie.
But he's having fun with the cops. And the thing that's funny is like, just like any organized, proper, organization, I guess,
Yeah.
institution, you know, to get Santa out of the situation, they tend to, they send a tactical response team. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Like, all right.
You know,
They
TRT.
sent the seals
It's a TRT, yeah, like, tactical response. So these are like these elves that are not nice elves. They're like they're like tactical. They've got their vests, their plate carriers,
dude.
they got all their stuff on, and they're ready to go. So they go and they get Santa's ass back. You know
They
what
do.
I'm saying?
They
Yeah.
do a great job at it. I'll tell you what.
And it's pretty funny because like they just like get him. They get Charlie. They get everything taken care of, and
Yeah.
they're like clean. They're just like do it
In and
it's-
out.
Oh, yeah,
no
it's like done.
survivors.
It's not. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of funny because like after all of this, like then his mom and stepdad start believing that he is Santa. And the thing that's funny that makes them really happy is like, cause they this is something that's funny. They actually both talk about when they stopped believing in
Yeah.
Santa. And basically, like long story short, they both wanted specific gifts. They asked and asked and asked. It just never happened. And they're like, screw you, man. I'm out. I
Yeah,
don't
which
believe
is
in you
pretty
no more.
selfish, but
Totally
I mean, whatever. They're
selfish,
kids.
They're
I get
kids,
it.
and they're hurt. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, but
hurt
like
people hurt people.
exactly. Santa, they're like, all right, fine, you're really Santa. Come on, you got to go and you got to do this. So you got to finish this.
They kind
job
of
for
go
Christmas.
with their blessing. Yeah.
He takes off, and then these little balloons come down, and like he got them their toys.
He got them the toys that
finally
they
got them the
wanted,
toys
yeah.
they wanted, and they were super stoked. And the mom ends up like burning like the cancellation of custody papers.
Yeah.
and like it's a good thing, right? Like it's a happy thing. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Big itches.
Okay. Charlie has this really cool snow globe that Bernard gave him.
Yeah.
It's really cool because like when you shake it and you like in the movie when you like look really into it, like you can see Santa's sleigh like
Yeah, it
going
shows
through,
the
and it's
sleigh
like really
going around.
nice and it's beautiful.
It's
And-
sick.
Yeah, and he
It's
says that
super
if he
sick.
ever misses his dad, like he can shake that and his dad will come and whatever.
Yeah.
And he's got so much work to do because he was arrested and he has like so much less
A couple
time.
weeks
He's like,
back
I had to
now.
get this done right
Yeah.
now. So he's like, Charlie, you got to stay at home, dude, because I got to like handle
we
shit
gotta-
like
we
a
gotta
dad.
do
You know what I'm
stuff,
saying?
yeah.
Like, and he's like sad.
Yeah.
So then like he goes and he does this thing and he shakes the globe.
Gives it a shake. 'cause
Comes
he misses
back.
His dad. Yeah.
He takes him away.
Yeah.
And they
He's
do
like,
their
all right,
thing.
you can come with me this year. You
It's a
can
nice
come."
ending. Like it's
It is. He gets to
yeah.
deliver the presents again. It's really nice.
It's totally. This movie is definitely like. It's funny. It's got a lot of action in it.
surprising amount of
It's
action.
it's upbeat. It's not depressing. It's really
yeah.
nice. It's relatable. Like I think that it's cool that like, the parents are like not together, but it works in the end.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody has like their issues, right? Like it's a good movie, and it's like wholehearted. It's like it's nice, and it's like super seasonal and cool. Like it's definitely something that would get you in the mood for Christmas.
Definitely.
And it's fun, and I like watch it as a 33-year-old adult, and I still really enjoy it.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's not even a
I have a
nostalgia thing.
blast.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's like definitely like a solid.
It's funny. There's a lot of good jokes in it. That's
Yeah.
the great thing about like kids movies when we were growing up.
Yeah,
They threw so many jokes in there for the parents.
I agree. Yeah.
Which I really like.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I can appreciate it differently as an adult,
For sure.
which is cool.
For sure.
So I really like that. The thing that's tricky with this kind of stuff to me is like we were talking about, you know, get your affairs in order. You're gonna have to go, and you're Santa now.
Yeah.
So now I like think to myself, like, God, like as I was leaving, or let's say packing up myself, getting quote unquote getting my affairs in order. Let's say, like, what am I thinking? I'm like, oh man, dude, I'm gonna miss all this like stuff that like because it's almost like, again, like it's like a deadline. It's like a death sentence in a way. Like you're like, God, all the things that I took for granted.
Yeah.
Here, you know, like there's a lot. Even though it's exciting that you're gonna, it's like any other move. Like it's exciting, but it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for sure. And
Both
it's
Nana
just,
and Carlos
it's-
are right off camera right now.
it's just
being
strange.
Kind of weird energy.
yeah, it would be a weird feeling.
Yeah.
You know, like because again, it would just be so bittersweet. Like, and still really hard to believe that you're about to move to the North Pole.
Yeah,
like
you're
and
up
be
there
Santa
forever
with
now.
elves,
Yeah.
and like that's just how it is. He's not married. He's just
Yeah.
moving there by himself. Like that's like the reality of the
Yeah.
situation. It's like really weird. You know what I'm saying? And I think that like it would be hard for me because I think that like I would miss like. I don't know. I would honestly, it'd be hard. I don't know if I would miss that many things.
Yeah.
I would miss people. I would miss like my family. I would miss my friends. I guess I could have them up there. I could,
Yeah.
like, have them come up there. I could fly them on my sleigh up there.
Mm-hmm.
But it still isn't the same. Like when I lived in other states. So have you. And I always talk about the fact that like, let's say you don't see your mom every day, right? Like
Yeah.
it's different when you don't see her every day because you guys, you know, you work and you're busy, and you know you might talk to her on the phone and stuff like that. It's different when you don't have the option to. There's no
Exactly.
option to. It's not like you're choosing to. It's that you can't.
Yeah.
It's different. So I think that that's like where just from personal experience, like that's what I would probably try to like. I would hang on to. It would be hard for me, and I would want to know that like they were gonna like. Not leave, you know. I would want to know that they were going to still be in contact with me. I'd see them still. Like
It'd
that
be
would be
tricky
really
for
hard
sure,
for me.
yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I think like just kind of like what you were saying, like the creature comforts would be really tricky to kind of leave and like not have anymore. Like I'm thinking about it, like I wonder if they have Wi-Fi in the North Pole. But I'm the kind of person like with this specifically, like my whole life is now being Santa. Like I'm like so focused on this. And
Of
I'm like,
course.
okay, like,
Yeah.
you know, what am I doing today? I'm just kind of throwing myself into this. I mean, I already do that with my job now. I'm like always kind of working on that. But I think it would be something where it's like, yeah, you know, you're doing this whole new thing. It's scary, but it's also like super exciting. Like I get to be a part of something so much bigger than me now,
Right.
which I really like and I really enjoy. And I think like it would be an adjustment period, but it would be so fucking cool to be Santa.
It would be. What do you
like
think?
that's wild.
What do you think would be so cool about? Like, what do you think the best part would be for you?
Just like the analytical part of it, like planning everything. Like I love that kind of shit where I'm just
You're
like,
like
all right,
the
I'm gonna
foreman.
figure this out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like being in charge of that and like, oh, like what new toys are we coming out with this year? Like let's kind of like get into that stuff and like I think that would be really cool and like
Well, you'd have to work on it all year.
yeah,
It would. You have to start like the day after Christmas and just
Literally.
be like, we gotta go because
Yeah.
it's for everyone in the world that celebrates Christmas. So that's
Yeah.
like, you know,
quite
yeah,
a few folks.
indeed.
But yeah, I think it would just be really challenging, but like once you kind of get in your groove, you're like, yep, this is it. I'm doing it. I'm good.
Yeah.
And I think it would just be like so cool. I would like I'm not trying to sit here and be like, I want to be Santa. But I think it'd be a pretty interesting way to do things.
It'd be a cool life.
Dude, I'd
Yeah.
be totally okay.
Do you,
with
are
it.
you? No, you're not. Never mind. He died.
What were
off
you
a
gonna
roof.
say?
I was like, are you immortal if you're Santa? And I was like, no, he died off of a roof. So no, he's not
Very
in this,
true.
in this realm. He's not.
I mean, damn near, but
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. I think this is one of my favorite Christmas movies for sure.
I agree.
And like, I want to watch the second one so badly now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Also, I think it's funny we haven't really said it. Today is Christmas Day. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Crimbus. Yeah, it's a good Christmas movie.
It is.
I think that, like, if you were Santa, though, I think that my favorite part about that would be, well, there's like a few things. I think first, like, living in the North Pole, because of how it looked in the movie, it's like a sweet, like, city.
It almost looks underground too.
Yeah, it looks like
It's, like, hidden.
subterranean. It
Yeah.
looks like really festive and like
It's like Whoville.
it's very charming.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that would be really nice. Like, and you know, he looks out of his, like, I don't know, castle or whatever he has, this like thing that he's in. Like, it's such a beautiful view.
Yeah.
And it would be sweet having polar bears direct traffic.
Dude.
It would be dope. It'd be so sweet. Oh my God. But the coolest thing I think to me about being Santa is the magical aspect of it.
For sure.
He has magic.
Yeah.
Like, so like to me, like that would be cool. Your sleigh, like it flies around the world like in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like you can like make chimneys in houses that don't have any to suck down into. Like, that's so cool. His like bag is like Hermione Granger's bag. Like,
True.
it's like just you can like pull whatever. He literally goes into the bag and he's like, you know, super deep in the bag, like pulling
Yeah.
stuff out, stuff like that. Like the awe of the magic, I think would never get old to me. Like
For
that would be
sure.
something I would always be in awe about, and I would
For
always
sure.
be like very excited about.
Ugh.
And the fashion. I like a woodland Santa, the one that has like all the white stuff. He's got like fur on him. He's got like
Yeah.
a big beard. He's got like the staff, like the
Oh, you're
the
into
wooden
fur, so
the
you like
staff.
kill animals.
No, he's just Santa, so he
No.
wears that because he's in the tundra. It's different. It's
Okay.
nature.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He
Don't
found
make
it.
assumptions about me as Santa.
Okay.
He's a woodland Santa. That's what I would be. I wouldn't want to be the red one. I'd want to be like the white one with like the brown on it, and like, you know, he just looks really like he lives in the woods, and he's like cool.
You're not
and
Santa the
wise.
red. You're Santa the white.
The gray. Yes.
That's funny.
But yeah, I think that's what it would be. But you're right. I think that it's definitely like today. It would be a really good day to watch that movie if you haven't watched it before, or you haven't in a while. Put it on while you're opening presents or something. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
it's
Like,
a great movie.
it's a great movie. It's hilarious. It's really good. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
Ah, love it.
it is. It's great. Tim the Tool Man, baby.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's doing now.
Probably trying to stay off that blow.
Hey,
I don't know what his drug of
That's
choice is.
snow. Get it?
Literally. What are you excited for most about Christmas?
I'm excited for my friends to open their presents.
I'm so
excited for
excited
Nev to
for my
open
friends to
hers.
open
Like,
their
yeah, I'm
presents.
excited. I like seeing people open gifts and how they react.
I think that's a very fun part of it.
I agree.
For sure.
It's my favorite part, for sure. I also have gotten really good at wrapping gifts this year.
It's
so, like,
wild.
yeah.
It's funny because, yeah, show one off really quick. Show off your.
Not as nice as this one I'll use.
I'm going to take a. Oh, cool. Just kind of drag it up my leg here.
This one I wrapped. This is
Who is
from
it to and
This
from?
is from to Preston from Scott.
Scott.
It's very nice.
Let me give it a shake.
No.
Let me see if I can figure out what it is. Oh, it's that.
The thing about wrapping that I realized is a game of patience.
Yeah,
You have to
I
take
don't
your
have the
time and then
patience
try
for
to
it.
relax and enjoy it, and then you'll do a good job.
They didn't really hear that last bit because you were
Try to really
literally
enjoy that and do a good job.
phasing away from.
And
the
I also
microphone.
like to mix it up. Like, I know everybody can't see it down here, but I try to put different wrapping papers on different gifts. You want a little pop of color. You want to do a little bit different. I like really obnoxious wrapping paper. I don't.
But it all
like
looks
to be-
really nice.
It's charming.
Yeah.
You know, in its own way.
It matches your tree well. It matches like it's not boring and it's not like clean. It's not sterile. It's nice.
Yeah.
What
I
was
realized
that?
that I only used that wrapping paper for that one gift here, and it kind of bums me out now.
I do like that one.
I
like
love
the
that
dark
one.
green.
They're puppy
Oh.
dogs all over it.
Puppy dogs. I think that two presents you wrapped today have it on.
They
there.
do, yeah. But
Yeah.
they're not for you.
Yeah. Well,
What are you excited about for Christmas?
I'm just also very excited for all my friends to open their presents. I think I did a really good job at presents this year. I'm really excited for everybody. I got, good stuff, and I'm just excited for like the family time of like just us hanging out. My entire family right now, this is a week before Christmas. My entire family is in Chicago at a Christmas market without me because they decided to plan this trip on a day that I was working. It's like, guys, I work 3 days a week. It's pretty easy to avoid those days, but
That's
pop off.
That's very hurtful. Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is the
it
season
feels,
of
it
yeah,
feels
well.
good to be left out, doesn't it?
I think it does.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel like
You're
Kevin
you're
McAllister.
the middle child, right?
Midgershirt.
You're the Bichon Bear.
I am the Bichon Bear. I'm the middle child, and that's
Yeah.
fine. You know, I'm here making the money, paying the bills. That's totally fine. I get it.
You work hard for that money.
It's totally
So
fine.
you better treat her right.
You make half for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. Christmas is the time of year, baby.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas time.
Christmas.
Fucking Christmas.
And what's next week?
Next week is Home Alone, the
We're
OG
watching.
original
With Catherine
Kevin,
O'Hara.
with Kevin McAllister.
Yup.
I have exciting questions for that. We're going to hit some really heavy points on that one. It's going to be really great. I'm going to criticize their parenting skills a lot, guys. So
What?
everybody
You
prepare
having
for that.
strong opinions?
How do you lose your child 2 goddamn years in a row? How do you do that? How do you do that?
Honestly-
you should have your children taken away from you. That is crazy.
I want to watch the second one. I don't want to watch the first one. The second one is so
we can
good.
talk about
Lost
both
in New
if
York.
you want to. That is a good one, but the first one's classic.
It's funny. I hadn't seen the first one until recently.
I
I have
know.
only ever seen the second one, and I loved it. Donnie J is in the second one.
DJ, I know that doesn't surprise me at all.
He was a man. He was a big man on campus
The
at
man
that
of the
time.
math. The Egyptian.
I don't know about all that.
Well,
Do you have any closing statements, Chadwick?
no, everybody, thank you for listening and tuning in. If you have any questions that you want to reach out and send us, or any comments, we like playing them and responding because it's fun and exciting.
It is very fun.
And
We're collecting some right now. We're gonna maybe do like a little special something with them. But
yes, so give us the gift of questions.
please, if you're like,
Yes.
what can I get my favorite podcasters?
Yeah,
Send us audio submissions on
course.
Instagram at The Dish with Chase and Ben.
yeah. Subscribe and follow us, and we will get back to you this following week.
We'll see y'all in a week
Hope
for
you guys
the
have
season.
a wonderful, safe Christmas.
Yeah. And then next week is the season finale, the year finale. We're finishing everything up.
Don't half-ass your wrapping jobs and just use bags. Don't do that.
I'm using
Don't be
just
lazy.
bags. And it's not lazy.
Don't
the
be
bags were
lazy.
really nice.
It's not personal. It's very cold.
Cool. I'm
So-
gonna wrap Chase's gifts in fucking toilet paper then.
Profanity isn't necessary.
You said profanity. Watch out, profanity.
Anyways, thanks for listening, guys.
Merry
Everybody have a
Christmas,
really nice Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa. Nana's birthday is the day after Christmas. My dog's. She's going to be turning 6. If anybody wants to write her a card and give it to me at work.
Her name is spelled Nana.
Yes.
Nana.
Don't.
What is my name?
No. It's
See.
Nana.
Nana.
Anyways, take care, guys. Bye-bye now.
Good evening, morning.
Uh.
All done. I'll snatch my hand away from you this time.